NBC Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Time for some Friday night lights, and a beautiful night it is on this Friday evening in Sao Paulo. Clear skies, ready to go as we send it to the third member of our crew, Kaylee Hartung.
Hey there, Noah. After a record low number of kickoffs were returned last year, capped off by the first Super Bowl where every kickoff went for a touchback, the NFL wanted to make kickoffs competitive again, while also making the play safer. Thus the creation of the dynamic kickoff, where you'll see players lining up closer together and closer to the returners to minimize high-speed collisions. In the preseason, the experiment produced a 70% return rate, and while few thought that number would hold in the regular season, the anticipation for more returns was high. But last night's opener felt a lot like last year, with 9 touchbacks and only 2 kickoffs returned. Both the Chiefs and the Ravens contend to let the others start drives at their own 30. Tonight, Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni says they're still experimenting, and Packers head coach Matt LaFleur told us you could best describe his philosophy for the returns as fluid. Noah?
Well, Kayla, you mentioned we saw it last night. It wasn't necessarily the results that the dynamic kickoff are supposed to bring. As we welcome you to the NFL Kickoff Weekend presented by YouTube TV. It'll be interesting to see how the kickoffs are handled today. Both head coaches, both special teams coordinators called it a work in progress, said that it's a lot of react and see. And that's what we're going to see for all of this, because this is brand new in Brazil, and this environment is legit. This game sold out within an hour of the tickets opening up, and you can feel that electricity already. Let's go down to Kaylee.
Well, Matt, after a slow start for your offense, what changed for Jordan Love and them to find their rhythm?
Well, we just made a couple big plays. We had 3 big explosive runs in the run game, and then we had the explosive pass for 70 yards. You know, obviously Jay Reed's making some plays, but yeah, it's just down to the consistency, and we knew it wasn't going to be perfect. We just got to have that next play mentality. We've
seen players continue to slip on this field. How do you address that?
Yeah, you know, we got to do whatever you got to do, change your cleats, but it's been a problem for sure.
Thanks, man.
All right, thanks.
We'll see what changes in the second half. Eagles will get the kickoff to start the second. Coming up next, the Toyota halftime. Here's Maria to tell you what's on tap.
All right, thanks. We got a 2-point game in Brazil thanks to some superstars. Saquon Barkley, welcome to the Eagles. Jaden Reed, anything you can do, I can do better.
I like it.
A couple of touchdowns for both
back
of
and
them.
forth.
I love it. 19-17, the Packers go into the locker room with the lead. Welcome back inside of Studio 3. Maria Taylor alongside Devin McCourty and Chris Sims. And after a slow start to the game, couple of flags, couple of mistakes, the last 6 possessions were all scoring possessions.
It's been awesome, right? I think everybody's kind of getting the rust out a little bit early. The field is annoying. Let's start there, right? People are slipping everywhere. The changing of the cleats will happen at halftime, hopefully. But, yes, I mean, you saw the Eagles get off to a slow start. Jalen Hurts is caught on fire. They can't be stopped. Saquon, happy for him. And Jordan Love and Jaden Reed, of course, a lot of big plays so far.
And you look, Green Bay could be up more. Those 2 miscues by Philadelphia, the interception, then the snap that was botched. They could have scored on those, but I would say defensively, a lot of missed tackles. Both these teams, not a lot of reps in the preseason, and it looks like it's showing up because they haven't had live game tackling experience.
Yeah, Green Bay, listen, running the ball up the middle. We've seen Saquon be in the pass game, the run game here. We're not void of weapons in this one. You're right. It's going to be more about what do the defenses do here at halftime, adjust, come out with some new wrinkles because, right now the offense has got their number.
You went to Georgia. You know, defense wins championships.
Already know. Say it with your chest. All right, one of the questions we had coming into this game is how the tush-push was going to look without Jason Kelce as the center. Well, we got to look at it in the first half, and how about this? He chimes in. Hard count. Brilliant.
Yeah, he's probably like, why didn't you do the hard count more when I was there so I didn't have to kill myself there with the defensive line? But, hey, they're going to be fine. Everybody, like he said, it's rusty. They got a very good, talented offense and offensive line, and, they'll get all these problems put together.
Yeah, they're working out some of the kinks right now. All right, Sunday night, we got the Rams and the Lions, and this summer, Jason Garrett broke down some film with Sean McVay on second-year superstar Puka Nacua.
Coach, Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, 2 incredible weapons. What makes them so special?
I think it starts with their mental and physical toughness. These guys love the game.
You see it in how they play.
I think this is a great feel by Puka, to be able to dig, to stack, to separate. When his eyes go back, he holds his body position. And I think this is one of the things that's special about this guy. He's catching it at the 20-yard line, slash running, being able to just get inside. He's got the swag. He is a fun guy to be around, but two guys that can finish down the field and also make a bunch of plays after the catch.
They don't wow you athletically, but it just seems like their instincts, their feel for playing the game off the charts.
You're exactly right.
Great to see another season with Puka Nacua, but how about Matthew Stafford in his 16th season going back to Detroit? Remember we saw him in that wild card matchup? What are the expectations? I know, right?
Right.
He said he's excited about that, though.
I bet he is, yeah. I bet you that rubbed them the wrong way.
Yeah.
He wants to prove them wrong, certainly. But that Rams offense, I think, has a chance to be special. We got questions about the Rams defense. Raheem Morris not there, Aaron Donald not there. But when you talk about Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, Stafford is awesome, good tight end play, and one of the better running backs in football in Kyren Williams. They're going to have to score points, I think, in this game if they want to pull off the upset.
And Detroit said, we understand what you got over there in the Rams. We know that. So we went and got Terrion Arnold, traded for Carlton Davis from Tampa Bay to play. Those are going to be the two corners now. And you look at Detroit, again, they set themselves up to be better this year, to make that jump, to not just be in the NFC Championship, but how do we get to the Super Bowl? So I love what they did, and I'm looking forward to this game Sunday night.
I worry about the Rams defense against that Lions offense. That Lions offense with Ben Johnson calling the plays, there's nothing they can't do.
Yeah, sure. No Aaron Donald too in this game.
Right.
Yeah, but the Lions, you know, they got their first playoff win for the first time in 32 years, so they're riding high. We know that we're going to see Stafford. We know that we're going to see Jared Goff, but we don't really know who's going to be under center for the Steelers. Mike Florio, any clarification there?
Well, Russell Wilson is the starter, but he aggravated a calf injury this week. He's officially questionable. Sounds like it's closer to doubtful. Now, I'm told there's a chance he'll be able to play on Sunday, but the decision may go all the way up to game time. And they're fine if it's Russell Wilson or Justin Fields. It was a close competition. And when Wilson plays, there could be, very likely, a package of plays for Fields. They view him as the better long-term option. And also, having Fields available puts a little more pressure on Russell Wilson to stay within the offense and not try to do too much, Maria.
All right, thanks, Mike. We're going to keep an eye with that on Pro Football Talk. And up next, you'll hear from #1 overall pick Caleb Williams. His dad want to be the best quarterback that's ever done it, and they've trained and done everything to put him in the right position. But what are the expectations you have for him going into year one?
I thought it was interesting hearing Bill Belichick talk about Caleb Williams in the preseason. Say, yes, there were some unbelievable plays, but overall, he said he was 50%, worries about the accuracy, doing the right thing. And we know as a rookie, especially at quarterback, the hardest thing is to be consistent, play after play and week after week.
Regular season football is going to be different, right? You're going to have to check the ball down, not try to make the wow plays. But I'm a huge fan of Caleb Williams, as you guys both know. I think his talent is incredible. He's got some of that Mahomes-esque type factor that he can bring to the team, right? But I do think what he's saying, can he play an ugly offensive football game if it's that, and what it calls for? It's not always going to be highlight reel type of plays on the offensive side of the ball in the NFL, especially when you're a rookie.
The hardest thing to do as a young player is to say, hey, this is the way we have to win today. It might not be what you think, but you have
to be conservative.
He'll be learning, certainly, along the way. We actually have him week 2 against the Texans. That'll be a fun one. All right, let's go to our fantasy guru, Matthew Berry. Who are you loving and hating for week 1?
Thanks, Maria. You guys are talking about Caleb Williams. Well, I love another high-profile rookie, Giants wide receiver Malik Nabers. In the preseason, Nabers got a 33% target share from Daniel Jones. So I have to tell you, he's going against the Vikings, bad secondary. They really struggled last year. So when you get a very talented player getting a massive target share against a bad secondary, that's a love for me. Nabers inside my top 20 this week. As for a matchup I don't like, Dak Prescott on the road at Cleveland, where he struggled last year. CeeDee Lamb held out this preseason. Browns gave up 126 passing yards at home last year, best in the NFL. Dak outside my top 10 for the week.
All right, you better join the Matthew Berry mob. You know what I'm saying.
Neighbors on my fantasy
you
team.
better.
I got better.
And every Sunday, Matthew's going to give his last-minute fantasy advice before kickoff, who to start, who you need to sit, late-breaking injury news, no better place to go if you need to help setting up your entire lineup. Fantasy football pregame coming your way. Oh, check out the halftime.
Wow.
Anita is
big time.
Yes, in Sao Paulo. Time performance there. We've got a great performance going on in the field as well. 2-point game right now in Brazil. The Packers lead it 19-17. More action coming.
This has been the Toyota Halftime. Let's go places.
It's not for the buzz, powered by AWS in a 2-point ball game. Green Bay had a 5-point cushion, trimmed with a field goal. First time two players have each had a rushing and receiving touchdown in the same quarter. Barkley and Reed getting it done for their respective teams. The quarterback comparison, Jordan Love, it's been a fairly clean game, just not as efficient as maybe he would have liked. The early interception from Hurts, he shook it off pretty quickly. The Eagles' motion rate, last year, last in the NFL. Tonight, 68%. That is all the Kellen Moore offense as we send it down to Kaylee.
Well, guys, Nick Sirianni couldn't help but smile when I said to him, well, now you know what Saquon Barkley looks like scoring a touchdown in an Eagles jersey. And if things go according to Sirianni's plan in the second half, we might see that again. He said our focus is going to be on continuing to get Saquon the ball. And as for that concern for players slipping on the field down here, Sirianni said he feels like they've made all the adjustments to get the right spikes on the right guys. But he said it's going to be a continued effort to keep cleaning those spikes at every opportunity. This game's going to come down to fundamentals, he said, guys.
Fundamentals, but certainly that traction has made a difference. Welcome back to NFL Kickoff Weekend, presented by YouTube TV. So we saw back and forth first half, but a close game entering the second half. Packers won that toss to start the game, decided to receive, so it will be Eagles football, and it's an Eagles offense that's starting to hum a little bit under Kellen Moore.
Yeah, it really has. I mean, after the early interception, Jalen Hurts kind of settled down. Kellen Moore doing a nice job getting some easy throws for him early, and now I think he's kind of in his groove.